Hello everyone, I'm back for yet another video. What we're going to be doing today is the control arms on the E46. But to get to this control arm, first of all, you've got to take the under tray off and the reinforcement plate. So let's make a start and let's get this done. So here's your under tray. There's some screws at the back there, a couple at the side, then the back. This back section will drop down, pull that backwards. Okay, so under here, just behind your belly pan, is your skid plate, and there are a total of 8 16mm bolts holding it on. There's 2 this side, 2 that side, 4 in the middle at the front. So just do them, loosen them so they're like finger tight, and then just slowly bring them off. Make sure you're out of the way, otherwise it's not heavy and it won't hurt, but it's just really messy and you don't really want it dropping on your face if you're working on the floor. And that is both of them off, your skid plate and your belly pan. And as you can see, I've got a bit of an oil leak, but what BMW doesn't, so let's just crack on with the job at hand. Okay, so I'm at this stage with the mallet. I managed to get the nut off the top, drenched it in WD, and now I'm just beating the absolute living daylights out of it from the side because I'm trying to shock it so it can come down. It's not going to plan at the moment, but I'll probably have another sit rep later. Sit rep, I've been beating the crap out of it and it hasn't moved an inch, and I'm now sat here contemplating life, wondering if it's genuinely possible or not. Oh, and to add to it, just because it's a BMW and it doesn't like people, I get a new noise. If you hear that dunk 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 dunk, that's my new noise. So it wouldn't surprise me if I need a new wheel bearing as well. This is the progress, which is basically none. Don't know how well you can see that on camera. It's essentially not moved, and you can see by the state of that control arm how much I've just been absolutely giving it some. So I don't know, I'm just gonna have to keep at it and hope it falls off. Okay, so after hours of hammering and near enough being in tears, I've eventually managed to get it out. The killing move was going in from the top with an extension and just putting that nut on there and hammering it down, and that got it down. So now we have a really awkward job trying to get this up here. Well, basically that one, which goes through the subframe. Then that I think is easiest, so we're just going to see how we go. So we're now on day 2, and this didn't want to come off yesterday, which was the main bolt there. Just about got it off. I left it soak in WD overnight. I've just been working the threads and eventually managed it. As you can see by that top section there, that it's gone out of focus, but it's seen better days. Little victory now just to beat this off. No, just to get this off, should I say. Luckily, a good friend of mine has borrowed me this behemoth, which is Thor's hammer, otherwise known as a 4-pound hammer. So we just need to beat the crap out of this now and see if we can get it off. So apparently that 4-pound lump hammer really does make the difference. A couple of little tickles near there. I've just hit around here a few times with that 4-pound lump hammer, and it's just come straight out. And all that fluid is just all the WD-40 that's been sat there over the certain amount of days. So now it's just easy part. Let's get these 2 out, these 2 bolts. So I think we found a problem. That is a lot of play, and this is really loose, so these definitely need a changing out. So I just cracked on with the control arm and I've got this one in. I've still got the other side to do, but I've not got a lot of time this weekend, so I think I'll come back and do the other one next weekend. Right then, so it has been a rough couple of days trying to get that control arm off. If you are going to do the job, I just want to tell you, like, you'll watch YouTubers telling you how to do this job, and they'll make it look like, you know, these nuts will just fall off for you and the control arm will just fall off. That it's not the case. The control arm will take a good bit of hammering with a 1-pound lump hammer. The heavier the lump hammer, the better. If you're changing the control arm from factory, then it's going to be quite corroded. With the nuts, you need to really work the threads. Don't try forcing it off straight away, otherwise the whole ball joint's going to spin. And the problem is with the Allen slots in those ball joints over time, with that being corroded, they tend to round off when you put an Allen key in them. So just try and work the thread, like, and what I mean by that is like loosen it off a bit. When it starts to get really tight, just tighten it back up. WD-40, clean the thread up, try again, and then it will start to get tight maybe a bit further up, and then tighten it and try again. That's the sort of method I like to use.
you know, if you want to be ruthless, you might be able to get an angle grinder in there on the stems of the ball joints, but it's really tricky if you want to do that. So do advise just the slow and cautious method. But yeah, it's not an easy job, especially if you ain't got a ramp and you're on the floor, because you're like that and your shoulders really do hurt. So just take your time with it, take plenty of breaks, and you'll get it done. But yeah, that is basically it for this video. If you've done one side, the other side's essentially the same. Just on the other side, if you've drove the car beforehand, just be careful of the exhaust, because it does come down from the manifold near the control arm. So just be careful of that. If it's a bit hot, you will probably burn yourself. But that is it for this video, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. Hope it was helpful. Until the next time, peace.